Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The ability to drive patiently in a 200-mile-per-hour traffic jam. That's what it will take to take it home at Talladega. Live here tonight, presented by Roughneck Racing. It's the Madness Money Racing Series, live on V-Speed, presented by Wagoner's Welding and North Star Fire Protection, LLC. It's been a long schedule set up here, all at super speedways. We're at our second stage of this series. Trucks tonight at Talladega. The momentum-based square body F-150s, Silverados, and Tundras are going to square off with 30-plus drivers at 200 miles per hour at the 33 degrees of banking, this behemoth of a racetrack, a retired airfield in Lincoln, Alabama, the venue tonight. The super stretch is going to set up a lot of crazy passes. Turn 4 exit, where drivers have lost the lead in the last quarter of a mile. The 1,000 feet past the tri-oval for the start-finish line at the exit of Pit Road, and the photo finishes we've seen here on V-Speed. Race analysis on your screen. 2 10-lap heats here tonight. Pit Road speed limit, of course, 55 miles per hour, and anyone tuning in is no stranger to this style of racing. Pack racing at its best. You can go 3 and 4 wide here, and very easily can work your way from the back to the front of this field in just a short time. Partnerships are going to be at a premium. You'll find out who your friends are about halfway through the segment, and even then, A driver could leave you out to dry, put you in the sucker hole, and watch you fall to the back of the field like a rock in the ocean. Talladega Super Speedway opened September 13th, 1969. It's a 2.66 mile super speedway with 33 degrees of banking. Tell you what, this place just outside Lincoln, Alabama has been an amazing venue. For anybody that says it doesn't take talent to get around this place, it's a talent all its own. It's a very unique way of racing, and it can be very stressful for a lot of these drivers. If you're going to be putting it down out there lap after lap, you have to time your passes accordingly, and drafting will be so important. If you're going to get through this race, hang on. 200 miles per hour. Getting set to go green here just shortly. Qualifying for one lap here tonight. And a lot of drivers getting set to grid, so let's take you through that lineup. We'll have two heats here. Put it up on the screen. Kyler Wynn is going to be the fastest car on the racetrack with a 54.852. Matthew T. Lee on the outside. And these drivers will be separated into two different heats. Going through the rest of this starting lineup, Garrett Maines and John Ward. Matthew Baker and Joshua McCullough. 0-1 of Nathan Harper. Landon Valecki will start in 8th position. Steve Sizemore and Daniel Falkingham, a name familiar to me. Sean Corbett and Chase Mistretta are going to start in 11th and 12th. Then you have Christopher Melton, Nash Brambilla in 14th. Josh Gambroni, Quentin Steinbach. A lot of new names here. Cody Nagels and Fred Bassenez. Cody, familiar name. James Wagoner and Jason Maines. Ryan Hennings, another familiar name there for the Roughneck Truck Series. Chris Blanchard will start 22nd. Kenneth McCullough Jr., a name I know from the Overtake iRacing League. And Thomas Parker, 24th. Jackson Lapino and Dylan Jones, 25th, 26th. Ethan Eckert and Tyler Lugo Vickery. And you have Mark Vondell, Jimmy Emos, rounding out your field. So setting up to take the grid here. Two heats on this startup. '82 of Kyler Wynn will lead them into turn 1. A few drivers here in the booth. We pace around this massive super speedway. Pull a driver into the broadcast booth. Bring up John Ward in the number 92. John, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, John, you're going to be starting here in row number 2. 2 heats here, 10 laps. How hard are you going to push it here for the first one?
I'm going to try to stay up front here. It's only a 10-lap race, so I'm going to try to give them a little bit of run for their money here.
Well, you're set up here pretty. That's not a hard feat to maintain and stay out of the trouble. But good luck out there tonight. Anybody you want to shout out while we got you in the broadcast booth?
Yeah, I want to shout out to R&R Roughneck Racing for putting this race up and the whole series and all, and you guys for broadcasting and everybody a part of it. Thank you guys.
We appreciate your time. Back to Ward's channel with you. It's John Ward in the number 92. He'll be starting on the second row of this race in 4th position. First time here on V-Speed to cover Madness Money. Reflection of PGR. Be sure to check out here the PGR 500. Be coming up here very soon. Be looking for details on that. Check them out on X. Very successful money series at PGR. They've been doing it for quite some time. But here tonight, we're going to go Talladega racing. Pace car off. Let's get it out of the way and unleash 600 plus horsepower for each one of these trucks. Into the tri-oval at the leader's discretion. Onto the loud pedal for the 82 of Kyler Wynn. Live and racing. Madness Money from Talladega. Just barely by 2/1000ths of a second, I think Kyler Wynn got that lap led. He did not. At the line, the tiebreaker, Matthew Lee. Man, that was back and forth. I'm not sure who led that lap there. iRacing's not sure either. I think it was Gary Maines that got that lap led somehow, and they push your pole sitter back to the third position. Down on the inside, though, for the 27 on your grid, the number 1 on your screen. Matthew Lee on the outside. Third line develops here. And there's the driver we talked to a moment ago. Here comes John Ward on the outside. 3 wide for the lead. Moving up to the middle line, trying to block the progression of that middle groove. But John Ward still has a good push down the backstretch. He'll take over the top spot by half a truck length. A little wiggle there from the 62. Malecki trying to give a good shove into the entry of the corner. Dangerous moment there. To look off the back end of John Ward. And into the sucker hole, 4 wide. He moves out of the groove, a little contact with the 49 of Melton. Melton holds it down there, they're still 4 wide. And they hold it together. A hole here in front of the 74 of Brian Hennings is gonna let him in. Contact with Hennings. Contact with the 11. Dylan Jones somehow saves it on the apron. Another move down to the bottom. They're wiggling back and forth with 23 now down on the apron. Rimbilla. Another epic save down the backstretch, but this pack is breaking apart. Becoming disorganized, and there's the 5 of Matthew Baker. Has worked his way up to 5th position on the inside. More door pinching, more contact. That third line pulls down on the middle, trying to pull him back a little bit here. And the 62. Landon Malecki finds his way to the lead, drops down in front of the middle, right in front of Garrett Maines, and now down to the bottom. Another move. Trying to protect that lead. Halfway through this race, 5 laps to go in heat number 1. It's been like this for all 5 laps. 5 more to go, and the defense at the front of the pack, back and forth, Bilecki trying to hold on to it, but down to the bottom now. Kyler Wynn trying to come back to the lead. The 5 gives him a shove, and up to the top 5. For the 5, he's went in and out of the 5th position, all within a quarter of a mile. A touch there on the inside. The 62 almost goes around. Another pinch here through the tri-oval. 4 laps left. Madness Money continues to be mad. A change for the lead. Daniel Falkingham, who has dominated these Money Series events. More contact. Drivers trying to get every inch they can out of turn 2. But Daniel Falkingham has a nose out down the backstretch. Lap traffic going to be a factor here momentarily. Going to go 4 wide out of the exit of turn 4. That's the 59 truck of Mark Vondell. Going to let this pack thunder by. It's echoing off the walls. Kyler Wynn back to the bottom. Falkingham moves to the middle, blocks the 62. Bilecki giving him a shove through the middle of the corner. He moves down to block the bottom line. The momentum holding the lead. And showing you why he's been the dominant driver. Contact the 8s around in the back of the field. End over end for the 23. Nash Brilla flips and the ERSsetups.com. Number 23 with the Premier Racing Setups machine. And heat number 1, 3 laps to go. We get our first caution. Take you back on the V-Speed Instant replay here to see exactly how this unfolded. 23's up on the outside, tries to cut down. Gets into Wagoner and just can never save the truck. Brian Henning's just able to avoid that. 31, Thomas Parker, let's go on board with him. Locks it down and just barely slides by as that 23 completely out of control, end over end. Lucky moment there for the 31 of Parker. The 23 was wheeling it, but just couldn't regain control, and here he goes end over end. Caution laps will not count here, as we'll be putting ourselves into green-white checkered territory. Daniel Falkingham has the lead for this restart. But I can tell you from past experience, a lot of plate racing in the early years of iRacing, for me personally, I would not want to be this lead car. Everyone behind this 88 is going to size him up and try to make sure they can get around. The close battles, though, with the 3 wide is not going to subside. Look to see the moves probably after they get out of turn 2. You'll see that third line develop. Not a lot of time left for anyone to try to go up here and snag heat number 1. They're sitting somewhere around this cutoff here. Got drivers like Chris Blanchard, Dylan Jones back here in 18th position. Jason Maines, some of these drivers in that red area for Heat 1. Brian Hennings back here in 16th. You got John Ward, who started up front in the 4th position, back to 15th. Sean Corbett in 13th position. Let's get a quick word with him. John Corbett, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, sure do, man.
Well, Sean, your teammate back there just behind you, good chance for you guys to get partnered up here for these last 3 laps, so you're going to try to go to the front.
Oh, definitely, yeah, that's the plan. I mean, we got a few laps. I mean, it's just the heat, but just kind of getting settled in, see what everybody's doing, and, you know, get up there if I can, but more or less just warming up for the main.
Warming up for the main. I can understand that. You can't finish this race and win the whole thing if you don't make it to that. So good luck out there. Got you in the broadcast booth. Anybody you want to shout out right quick while we got you?
Oh, appreciate it. Thanks you guys for broadcasting, putting this up, and my teammate John for getting in here. We'll see what's happening. Hyper Motorsports, and everybody for showing up. And let's have a good race.
John Corbett going to start here in the 12th position on the inside row with his teammate right behind him. Doubled back up. Second time today that we'll see that iRacing pace car peel out of the way. The Madness Money Series presented by Roughneck Racing, Wagoneers Welding, and North Star Fire Protection LLC. Been an exciting race so far. 3 wide. I've almost lost my voice in just 10 laps. Let's try to do it again. The Corona 49 on the outside. That's Josh Gambrone. He's going to start from 13 places back. He's worked his way through this field from 15th. And he'll be on the outside with the 82 of Kyler Wynn, who started second spot, actually first spot. It's awfully quiet here at Talladega when these trucks back it down to 65 miles per hour. Back into the tri-oval. We're going to hit that restart zone. What do you say? Let's find the volume knob. Turn it up a little bit. Let's get loud. Presented by 29 Graphics. The 1 into the 114. Kyler Wynn is end over end. A big wreck here in heat number 1. They're going to carry on green though. And here comes Nathan Harper to try to take the white flag. Nathan Harper saw the entire field fall behind him. Christopher Melton, James Wagoner, and Brian Hennings. Here they come, white flag in the air. One more attempt to try to make a pass. Hennings backs it down a little bit. Tries to give a cushion for a run out of turn 4. Wagoner does the same thing. But Christopher Melton stays glued to the back end of the 0-1. Several trucks destroyed in the back end of that. But the Bobble League 0-1 has a chance. Does Melton stay with him out of turn 4? Did Hennings drop back too far? It looks like he did. And here we come out of turn 4. The attempt at a pass, a move out of the way. The 30 of Wagoner looking for a hole, but the 01 of Harper on the bottom. 49 gets a push. It's going to be 3 wide at the finish. And it's the 49 of Chris Melton. He's going to win heat number 1. James Wagoner, second place. Nathan Harper with a top 3. What a finish. Let's back it up there on our V-Speed instant replay and watch how this all unfolds on the backstretch. And for Matthew Baker, he just couldn't catch a break there. Was pinched 4 wide there, and I guess we're going to cycle through to our next heat, but there was the replay down the backstretch that caused a ton of turbulence. We got about a 2-minute warm-up here, so we're going to take a quick break here on V-Speed. You're watching the Roughneck Madness Money Racing Series live on V-Speed. Heat number 2 coming at you in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Talladega, live on V-Speed. The Roughneck Madness Money at the Truck Series. And I tell you what, that finish. Lots of carnage there down the back straightaway for heat number 1. But here we go for heat number 2. Let's put that grid up on your screen. Well, we've lost our grid, so we're going to have to fix that. Looks like heat racing not liked. So here we go. We'll put it up on our race results and get that up. But there's your top 10 to your Top 20. Same names as we saw before. It looks like we might have advanced here to our main feature. Honestly, we had our warm-up. So it looks like the main feature is going to be skipped. We're going to have 30 trucks out on the field. So with that, they're going to have to force it. Because the lights are on the pace car, and there are no lights here at Talladega. $50 laps here in the late evening. So it looks like they skipped heat number 2. We're going straight on into the main with Christopher Melton starting up front. The win in heat 1, James Wagoner, Nathan Harper, Brian Hennings, Garrett Maines, Landon Valecki, Steve Sizemore, Chris Blanchard, and Tyler Vickery. Worried about the darkness? I am too. Here we go. Main feature, Roughneck Madness Money at Talladega. So how long can we run this thing? It's getting awful dark out there. Nathan Harper takes over the lead from the 49 of Chris Melton. Third lane starting to develop there on the high line. That's Garrett Maines in that second spot just behind the 0-1, but the one truck on the high line here is Joshua McCullough in the 7th spot, trying to get something going here as the 5 of Baker just behind him on board with the 5. They almost did it there with just 2 trucks on the 3rd lane. The 82 lurking behind this, developing their own 3rd line as Kyler Wynn. The 23 of Brimbilla, who went end over end there. Down the backstretch, give it a shove. They're going to take it 4 wide into the entry of turn 3. And Wynn gets left out to dry. He'll fall back. Still 4 wide out of turn 4. Finds a hole, drops in behind the 23. Looking off the back of Christopher Melton. Looks like he's going to prevail down the back straightaway with the 0-1. of Harper. Not quite the push I thought it would be. In the 124, Vickery is able to keep that ground, but the one jumps up in front, and Garrett Mings is going to take it out. Stopping that momentum, he'll keep the lead. Lap 5 underway. And we saw a lot of 3 wide in heat number 1. We're going to see some 4 wide here just a moment. Brian Hennings on the outside. The hole continues there. Looks like the 8 drops back down, but here comes the 74 of Hennings to the lead. Joshua McCullough giving him a shove. And Hennings lead a lap. 3 wide for the top spot. 3 wide, 10 rows deep. Hennings is going to drop down. It's not going to be enough, though. And the 49 can't get connected to his bumper, so Maines is going to lead that time by. Hennings goes back to the drawing board, and here comes McCullough on the outside. Kyler Wynn. The push a little late here, but here comes the exit momentum. Hennings getting a bobble out of 2. Melton trying to keep that 74 up front. Hennings sees the 0-1 drop down. Outside, very unorganized. Hennings stays with the 49. And this time out of turn 4, a drop down from the 49. They leave Hennings out to dry again. He pinches the 49 down. Melton's going to lead this time by. Third line has fallen back to about the 10th position. Here comes the 8, though, up in front of these drivers. North Star on the hood of that machine, I do believe. Sizemore labeled as the 8, but the 17 on your left-hand side. And Hennings gets shuffled back to about the 5th position. Some drivers deeper in this field falling back for James Wagoner. Started up here in 2nd spot after finishing there in Heat 1. And I'm becoming ever more concerned that this sun is going down. '49 holds on to the point into 3 and 4, but on the outside, here comes Kyler Wynn. Has a push from Steve Sizemore. Big push out of 4. He's going to take over the top spot. A wiggle in the middle line. Wynn drops down to block it. Kyler Wynn by about 3/100ths of a second leads that time by. Another lead change here. Officially 3 lead changes, but we've seen that lead change hands about 20 different times in just 9 laps. Officially across the stripe, though, 3 different leaders. And Kyler Wynn dropping to the bottom here. The 49 of Chris Melton has stayed committed to that middle groove. Here's another push on the back end. Kyler Wynn sticking with whatever line is progressing the most. Driving through his mirror here. There it is again. Down to the bottom into 1. And so visibility going to become a factor here of the next few laps. Hopefully we can stay green. We're going to get really close here to total darkness before the end of this thing. Third line develops again here with Hennings. Gets the push from the 17 of Sizemore. Fourth line developing way outside. And a block there. And I think chat might have jinxed it. We're 4 wide and 1 and 2. Hennings drops all the way to the bottom. They're still 4 wide down the backstretch. And more contact here. Hennings is going to get a shove, but down to the inside on the apron. 3 and 4 wide again through 3 and 4. Lock to the doors is the one. We're 5 wide through the trioval. Can we hold on to it? Still 5 wide. And the Madness Money Series doesn't disappoint. These drivers 5 wide all the way around Talladega. And somehow they've held on to it. Hennings sideways. Hennings with a save along the wall. But the 8 is around, and here's the big one. And total destruction for 16 plus trucks down the back straightaway. The 23 who got it in heat 1 gets it again in the feature. And this all starts at the lead. Brian Hennings goes for a ride. Hard impact with the inside wall, and that's going to pop an engine every time. Let's back it up one more. Let's see what happened to Hennings here. He gets maybe a bad block or a bad hit there. And then he's just along for the ride at that point. Tries to keep it up into the wall. And it all falls apart in front of him here. There's Falkingham going around. And here's the hard impact with the inside wall. It's right on board with the 23. There's the 4 wide. We saw 5 wide just prior to that, and we'll rewind to take a look at that in just a moment. But there's the big one on lap 12. Let's back it up even further here. You're going to see 5 wide. Something you don't see at Talladega too often, and you get away with it. But there it is. No lights out on this racetrack. And the brightest part of this place is illuminated by the pace car. And it's looking like they might have to call this session early. We might have to hit the reset button on this session. It's getting to the point now where we can barely see what's going on the racetrack, and this is not a V-speed first. We've had this happen before with the session details just overlooked there, and I think it would be only fair to set up another session with about 30 laps to go and bring the sun back. We'll have to wait and see what the track stewards do here. But right now, as it sits, I actually have Wagner in the booth with me right now. Go ahead and explain what we're going to do here, Doug or James.
We're going to set a new session right quick. This session was messed up at the time of the day, so I think we're going to start a 40-lap session. We're just trying to get the running order right now.
All right, so as it sits right now, we'll put that ticker up on the left-hand side of your screen, but that's where these drivers are going to start it out for the next session, and 40 laps at Talladega. Hopefully, we'll have some sunlight.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I appreciate you, Bradley.
Thank you for your time, Doug and Dougie. Appreciate it. Hopefully, we can get this back to green flag racing here momentarily.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully. Should be a good race, though. But I'll talk to you soon.
Alrighty. Here's James Wagner. We're going to sort out this session. And everyone just smashing these trucks here at the end of it. They've had enough of it already. But it's complete darkness here from Talladega. We're going to put up another session. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I know it's a little out of the ordinary, but Madness Money Series is going to pick up right where we left off in just a moment. While you're at it, on this hiatus, go ahead and hit that subscribe button here on V-Speed so you never miss a single race in any part of the action. Plenty of oval racing here at V-Speed Sim. We'll see you in just a moment's time as we get that session set up. Stay with us.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
So just getting off of the V-Speed time machine. We brought the sun back out at Talladega Super Speedway. We still have about 13 minutes here to get this all sized up. A quick practice before we take it to the grid. But after that miscalculation, a little bit of a debacle with the time settings in the previous session, welcome back into the booth. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. And here on V-Speed, well, we've seen it all. We've seen 5 wide. We've seen big pileups. We've seen night racing at Talladega. But here we are back under the sun. Lincoln, Alabama has not disappointed at all. Roughneck Madness Money Racing, presented by Wagoners Welding and North Star Fire Protection LLC. So my introduction to this racetrack just a moment ago, well, it was similar to what we got now. 200 miles per hour, pack style racing. As far as that last incident goes, 18 trucks were involved. Ryan Hennings moved up the racetrack across the nose of the number 17. Went for a wild ride up along the outside wall. Was able to regain control for the most part, but drivers to the inside, not so lucky. And from about 4th on back, the field piled in just down the backstretch to the entrance of turn 3. Still waiting on official word of where these drivers are going to begin, where they're going to start this race out. But right now, no one electing to take this qualifying. They're going to reset them based off of position. As far as I know, we do have some cars going out there on the racetrack for a lap. We'll have to wait and see if that's the decision here. I'm gathering this up as I can. Yeah, so it'll be our feature 2.0 here. Heath Job, we had a little problem with the sunlight in Talladega. Could have possibly been smoke from a volcano, a wildfire, not sure, but definitely a haze that brought the lights on the pace car here at Talladega. So I guess with that, we're going to watch some of these drivers go around this racetrack. Cody Nagels is going around right now. Daniel Falkingham also electing to take a lap. There's Daniel Falkingham. And qualifying. So Vickery, thank you for the information. So these are for positions on pit road. The field should be frozen. Not exactly sure where they're going to take that freeze. If it's going to be based off of after that crash where 20 plus trucks were involved, or if they're going to take it just before that caution came out and just disregard the yellow. I know the visibility was rather low for a lot of these drivers. There's Thomas Parker. So drivers maybe not worried about taking this opportunity. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Tyler, and thanks for relaying that information. I get it as it comes in. Doing things on the fly here in the production booth, but the most important part is on your screen right now. We're at the proper racetrack in the proper session. And that's the most important part here, is Brian Hennings testing out the roll cage into turn 1. Nobody else one other truck out on the racetrack. Chase Mistretta. And the number 8 on your screen, the 10 on scoring. And brand new trucks for everyone, which is good because there's no fast repair here tonight. And a lot of trucks banged up. I would say close to or over half the field had some form of damage. After that big pile up on the backstretch, we were about 13 laps in, 15 laps in, somewhere around there. And a few drivers had to bring it behind the wall. And that's good enough for a 16th position. Top qualifying spot will be Matthew Lee. But as we finish up qualifying here, the grid information is going to get reset here. Let's see if we can get that proper information up on your screen. Hopefully, yes, that will work. That's where they were to start this thing out. Matthew Lee, Garrett Maines actually taking qualifying time, so I think my grid's going to be broken here. They'll have to reset this field. And I think they're going to go around and pace for a few laps to get that sorted out. But the first pit stall confirmed. Garrett Maines, Sean Corbett, Nash Brambilla, Cody Nagels, and Fred Macinez. All the same names that we had there a moment ago. Gonna elect a grid here. All right, so let's try to sort this out. As soon as they take the grid, we're going to cycle these drivers around to get them to their positions of where they were during that last wreck at the Darkness. And then we'll get that information up on your screen. It'll be on the left-hand side for your ticker. And hopefully 2 pace laps while they get the lineup sorted. I appreciate everybody sticking this one out. I know that it's been a little bit chaotic here, and we've kind of had to reformat the show. But it wouldn't be called Madness Money for nothing if we didn't have a little bit of chaos. I'd like to go back to seeing that 5 wide that we saw a moment ago. How many times, chat, have you seen 5 wide continue on for an additional 3 laps? Shows the talent level here in this money series. But they're calling them out here to get them lined up. Well, trucks are rolling. We're going to take 2 laps around this place, trying to get it all sorted out. For that, we're just going to put the ticker up and see how it all shakes out. You base this off of qualifying times. Matthew Lee would be the pole sitter, so as soon as they cross the start-finish line for the green flag, they will group clear all the black flags in the session, and your left-hand side of your screen for the ticker will actually pull the timing and scoring. This is more of an iRacing glitch than anything, but not intended to do starts like this. I'm not exactly sure who this is going to put up front here. I believe the 82 of Kyler Wynn was the leader there when that yellow flew. The one of, I actually believe that's labeled as to wait and see what number that is. It might be the 27 to his outside. At least I thought it was. A lot of number ones out here on the racetrack. But Kyler Wynn should be the command truck for this restart. Yeah, I don't think it's been thought about either. It's definitely one of those pucker up moments. These drivers could lose it all. There is money on the line. But thankfully here in the sim racing realm, the worst injury you could sustain is maybe a broken thumb from a direct drive wheel. Some of these drivers with full motion rigs maybe could get a little bit of a back injury, but for the most part, completely safe. And so that might instill a little bit of extra confidence to go 5 wide here. But when you got money on the line and there's a position up for grabs, maybe a driver falling back through the field, you got to react. You got to make your move. You can't give up too much ground. You want to try to stay as close to the front of this field as possible to give yourself the best opportunity to come home with that money. The Madness Money Series here, Roughneck Racing, presented by Wagoner's Welding. So we're set back up. Left-hand side of your screen should update here momentarily. We're going to take that off. The information there a little bit confusing, but in just a moment's time, we should be able to update that information once that green flag drops. Base car lights are out. And for feature 2.0, it's going to be 35 laps. And the solar-powered Talladega Super Speedway is now illuminated to see 29 trucks take the green flag. Pace cars off. And here we go at the leader's discretion. Kyler Wynn. Green flag is out. Let's try it again here at Talladega. And now that we have that ticker updated, the information on your screen is correct. Kyler Wynn is your leader across the line. The 29 of Garrett Maines is to the inside. And you've got actually the 124 of Vickery down there. That's Tyler that was giving us the information a moment ago in the broadcast. It's the 29 of Maines to the outside for the lead. The 62 of Malecki giving him a shove. There's Falkingham in the 88. Remember, some of these trucks were damaged during that yellow in our first session. Thankfully for them, they were able to get a free truck. What a gift. A lot of these races were over with. Guys like Brian Hennings, the 23 of Brambilla, the 88 of Falkingham, they were all heavily damaged and probably not going to be able to get through this thing as there is no fast repairs. You see them calm down a little bit here And maybe the 5 wide had something to do with the lack of vision. Maybe drivers couldn't see enough and got put into some bad situations. We'll have to see if that picks up as we approach that 10 to go mark. The intensity will multiply as it does at Talladega every single time. Thank you for the compliments there in the chat, by the way, Lisa, and thank you everybody for sticking this one out. 3 laps about to be completed. And the Madness money. You've got 3 wide for the lead, 4 wide for the middle. The 124 of Velicky falls back, has to try to find a hole. They're 4 wide again. The 23 pinched down there into the entry. They're going to stay 4 wide. The 49 stuck up there. Imbrone finds a hole, is able to get down to the middle line. It's actually Christopher Melton there on the middle now. There's 249 trucks on your screen. And for Christopher Melton, he's just trying to find a place to get back to that lead. Was up front during the first feature that we had. There's James Wagoner moving up a lane to start that third line back up. And then a familiar name in the background, the 03 of Kenneth McCullough Jr. on board with the 03. Bit of a bad bump there from Melton to Wagoner. Their line can't develop just yet. They're going to try to get the momentum going. Running stagnant here around the 10th position. And what a move there to drop down to the middle. He's going to pick up a couple positions here. One of Talladega's best. And here come pit stops. The 5 of Matthew Baker into his pit stall. Maine's down as well in the 29. Nathan Harper, the 01, also finds his stall. 4 trucks this time by. Looks like some fuel-only stops for those drivers. Should have grabbed a cold beverage there on that hiatus. Didn't have an opportunity to do so. But progressively losing my voice as we're about an hour and a half into this broadcast tonight. The Money Madness series for Roughneck Racing. Velicky has the point. Nobody else electing to come down pit road. 4 drivers early at lap 5. Now lap 7 underway. And Road to Pro on the banner. The 82 of Kyler Wynn to the inside. Gets a big push there. That's Mistretta giving the shove to the Sim Motion. Number 30. I apologize, 82. I was going to say 39, but that's Daniel Falkingham's number. My timing and scoring trying to keep up. As they jostle back and forth for positions, the 62 of Velicky somehow able to maintain. But here comes Falkingham. You get another lap led. 0.02 of a second. In the background there, you see some drivers starting to shuffle, maybe trying to get to the bottom line for pit stops here soon. Gonna top off with Sunoco race fuel to make it to the end of this race. But how far do you want to push this? See multiple different 8 trucks up here, trying to sort that out as well. Senez on that high line. The Hershey's number 8. So the information of spots gained, not entirely accurate because the starting position is based off of where these drivers took for pit stalls. But I can tell you this, that Hershey's machine was not up here a moment ago. Has worked his way into the top 4, top 3 now, to the outside, pushing Falkingham for possibly another lap led. A little wiggle here through the tri-oval. A correction. And just again, by 0.03 of a second, Falkingham holds on to it again. He's got his hands full. Inside line going to prevail here into the entry of turn 3. Tyler Wynn's going to find the lead again here. Not sure if the 8 behind him was locked to that bumper, so it looks like out of 4, it's going to break ground, and the 62 will drop down. Valecki trying to play both lanes. Falkingham has been so good at keeping it there in the middle and just carrying the momentum wherever it takes him. Even with bad pushes and maybe upset the truck there through the tri-oval a moment ago, was somehow still able to hold on to that. Impressive drive for the 88. You can see deeper in this pack, it's starting to separate a little bit. Drivers that came down pit road a moment ago, cycling around, they are 40 seconds behind this lead group. It's Matthew Baker that's leading this tandem of 4 trucks. There remains the 0-1 of Harper and Matthew Lee in the 0-4. All part of this group. Caution free for the second feature, our feature 2.0. Brought to you by Sunny Delight. Valecki trying to block both lanes down the backstretch. That can go wrong in so many ways if you put on a bad block. We saw that just a moment ago. A little bit of a late exit there for turn 2. And Brian Hennings up in front. And across the nose of the 1 truck. When do you pit, though? That tandem of 4 trucks could be losing ground to this lead pack. It's now 41 seconds. Maybe pitted too early here for Baker and company. That's another factor. You come down pit road, you know that other drivers are going to come in with the situation warranted. Pit stops guaranteed. You're trying to pit with the pack. Avoiding traffic. There's so many side effects of pitting here at this racetrack, and if you're just topping off with fuel, you probably want to come in with your partners that you know can draft. However, that lead pack, filled with 20-plus trucks right now, they're turning 49.987 around this super speedway. The tandem of 4 trucks, last time by, a 50.8. They're losing about a second a lap to this lead pack. And for every lap that this group stays out, it's just compounding that issue. It'll make the situation even worse. Now, that doesn't factor in that a caution could still come out. We're just about halfway through this main feature. By technicality, we are halfway through. Would have been 30 laps now completed when they crossed the stripe. If you add on feature 1. Single filing out here on the inside. Haven't seen anybody else elect to come down pit road just yet. We've got a few trucks that have lost this pack. There's the 30 of James Wagner. He is electing to pit, but he's by himself, and he might lose this lead pack. Hopefully, Garrett Maines and those other drivers in that 4 tandem That 4-pack will envelop James Wagoner. That's probably his only saving grace because of pitting by himself. Drivers dropping back here. There's the 11 of Dylan Jones trying to fall back and find the inside line. Brian Henning's trying to find it as well. I believe we're going to see some drivers come down pit road this time. Here they come. It's everybody. Bulkingham leads them all in. They're sliding across. In the 8 in the background. The 11 has to go off and avoid it. But how about that? Everybody down pit road all at the same time. Down and away. Some drivers electing to take tires here. Maybe forgot to turn it off. But Kyler Wynn will take over the point. And already bump drafting down on the apron to get these things up to full song. Gear change to gear 4 as they hit the backstretch. Snaking and weaving down the back straightaway, single file, just about up to full speed. 186 miles per hour into turn 3. We're going to get upwards of 192 when we leave the tri-oval. Here's the push. Kyler Wynn has a breakaway of about 9 trucks. No contest here on lap 17, and no caution for the cycle green flag pit stops here from Talladega. 27 trucks still on the racetrack, 2 laps down for Sean Corbett. Jimmy Emos, Thomas Parker a lap down, 24 trucks still on the lead lap. Checking in with James Wagoner, he's found a partner here. It's a 45 truck, Sean Corbett. And another truck down here is Mistretta, all by himself. And then checking in with that tandem of trucks, led by Matthew Baker as they try to sort this all out. Chris Blanchard has joined this party as well. And somehow just enough to catch some more trucks after those pit stops. Aaron Maines and Nathan Harper are going to be part of this group here momentarily. They're about 2.5 seconds back from the lead, so not as bad as it could have been here for Baker and company. Matthew Lee has been glued to that back bumper. In fact, has almost beat the back end of it off. Trying to get caught up to this lead pack. They've got the draft. They're almost there. Third line, not there yet. Second line has just started to develop. And for those of you that live down south, a term oh so familiar, it's the eye wall of a hurricane, recycling after pit stops. We haven't seen the worst of this storm just yet, as Kenneth McCullough is going to go to the outside of Kyler Wynn and try to lead a lap, this time by a push from the back end from Joshua McCullough. It's enough to lead lap number 19. I'm trying to maintain my voice here. I know I'm going to need it for the last 5 laps of this event. Let's say we find those remote controls, those volume knobs, wherever your children might have hid that smart device. Let's turn it up here one more time. It's Get Loud, presented by 29 Graphics. Get Loud, presented by 29 Graphics. If your neighbors aren't angry with you, you didn't do it right. Reddy Bacenez is up front in the Hershey's number 8. The 03 of Kenneth McCullough Jr. on his outside for the top spot. This tandem of trucks is kind of split apart again. We had trucks catching up to the backdraft, but some problems, maybe some issues here. As we check in with the 5 of Baker, they had caught up to this. And so at some point here, they've come back down pit road. They've had to double pit here, and I don't think that was the strategy. If the rest of this field can make it to the end of this race, I don't think that the 5 and... I mean, the rest of these trucks back here that are 40 seconds behind now, they're going to have a tough time. I'm not sure on the numbers exactly, but I want to say it was somewhere around 20 laps or so that these drivers drove. It was somewhere in the 17 lap mark that the entire field came down into the pits, and that's right around halfway through this thing. So maybe they pitted too early, and they're definitely burning more fuel back here. 11 laps left when they cross that stripe. Tyler Wynn trying to figure out a way back to the top spot. Continues to hold his line on the bottom, but for how much longer? Again, the intensity is going to pick up here. We're going to take 10 laps to go. And for anybody that's 5th on back, they're going to start sizing up these runs, start making some decisions. You're going to have to make those tough calls in just a moment. Who do you want to go with? Communication on this racetrack will be key. And hopefully you have someone in a Discord channel right next to you on this racetrack. To go from Talladega. Roughneck Madness Money. .14 lead changes and 0 cautions here in the daylight. The intensity has dropped down. And for some of these drivers, they probably just want it to be over with at this point after 2 sessions. This is where you dig down deep and try to find your way to the front. This pack is about 16 trucks strong. Quentin Steinbach is back here, actually in the 16th position, so it's about 12 trucks that are up there in that lead pack. Back here you've got Jason Maines leading this group, continuing to lose ground. There's Garrett Maines. So phonetically, I know Tyler's not here, but it could be Maness. I don't know. New names here on V-Speed, but equal coverage to all of them. It's been a phenomenal show so far. Breakaway for the pack now. 17 seconds back to 13th position. A full 40 seconds back to 17. Senez holding on to that top spot hasn't really been contested just yet. You know that the McCullough boys are probably starting to overheat. Folkingham is aware of that. And there it is. I was just mentioning that he was getting hot. McCullough drops down. Kenneth has to move out of the way to cool off the number one. Folkingham probably going to try to prevent this from happening again. He's been pinned behind these two trucks for about 10 laps. He's tired of being runner-up. He's going to try to go for the lead. The 124 of Vickery to the outside, glued to the back bumper of the 88. Approaching 5 to go. Appreciate all the compliments in chat. I hope that my voice recovers from what we're about to witness, though. 6 laps left. Folkingham had some help there. Vickery tried to get him clear. We've got trucks coming off of pit road, and that tells me there's still a possibility that this top pack might have to come in. And for Kenneth McCullough Jr., he might be in fuel save mode. He led a lot there on that outside. You also see the 8 truck dropping back. Senez is probably in that fuel save strat as well. They've all single filed out. That tells me they're really close to either pitting or trying to save enough to take that white flag. Who has enough fuel? Does anyone in this group have enough to make it? Joshua McCullough has him single file behind him. Is he going to lead him into the pits? Second line develops. That's a group of lap down trucks led by Jason Maines. They're going to push by on the outside. 5 laps to go. Not the ideal timing for a pit stop. Are we going to see it? Yes, we are. The entire field, the front 12, all down pit road, locking it down. Folkingham gains a ton of spots. Here comes the 49 into the back of Folkingham, picks up 7 positions in the entrance of pit road. Again, Brune, not shy at all here. Quick instant replay. This is what it looks like. This is bravery at its best. Daniel Falkingham will lead them out of the pits. Kyler Wynn just behind. But a second group, fast charging, just behind all of this. Here comes Garrett Maines, Nathan Harper, and Matthew Baker. They're gonna get just the tail end of this group. And already, chaos. Down on the bottom there for John Ward. He tagged the apron. What a save through 3 and 4. He'll hold on to it. And Falkingham leads. 3 to go when they cross the stripe. Running out of opportunities. This 2.66 mile oval has plenty of room to make a pass, but it's all about the timing. When do you want to go? A move to the outside already on Falkingham. A block, a bad block, an 82 of Wynn, almost loses it. What a save again, a pinch as the 6 comes down. A door check from Cody. Another door check from Cody as they go to the outside. The 62 trying to get it going on the third line. Nagels loses ground, falls back behind, and they're side by side. 2 laps left. The Roughneck Madness Money Series has not disappointed. The extension of this race, feature 2.0. And Kyler Wynn, who technically had the pole in the first heat. Will he have a partner? John Ward out to dry. A block to the bottom on Falkingham. They're going to take the white flag next time. About 4 miles left to race. Kyler Wynn trying to find a friend. John Ward moved out of the way. Joshua McCullough trying to make a move, give a push to the outside. 1 lap left. White flag at Talladega. Be 3 wide through 1 and 2. The 62, Landon Vilecki trying to get it going. They're going to look 4 wide. A block. John Ward's around. The white flag is out. It's still going to be official. A door check from Wynn. Falkingham end over end for the 62. In the background, a lot of trucks just got totaled, but they're going to stay green through 3 and 4. Door checks back and forth. Wynn trying to get the victory. Kyler Wynn, another door check. The 1 gives him a shove. They're wrecking again. The 5 of Baker around. The 01, it looks like they took each other out. And Falkingham is going to be victorious at Talladega. An unbelievable finish. We'll have to go back and review it. But Daniel Falkingham shows again that he is a dominant driver at the restrictor plate, super speedways. Nathan Harper gets 2nd position. And there's 3rd place. Garrett Maines. Door checks all over the place. And Kyler Wynn trying to get the victory. And all those door checks slowed this truck down. And the 88 making sure it passes Tech. Takes it down to the inside wall. Knocks the nose in a little bit. But let's go back on this instant replay and watch how this all unfolds. This is at the white flag here. There's the big wreck there with John Ward going down to the inside wall. More door checks, the 03 and the 1 of McCullough. And then here's where it gets really dancy. From the blimp camera, door check 1, door check 2. A shove to the back of the 82. Puts him to the outside wall. Another door check here. And the 23 to the outside gets hit into the outside wall. And Daniel Falkingham stays clear of all of it, keeps it all in his mirror, and is able to come home with that prize money. Top 10. On the left-hand side of your screen, those are the drivers that will get points tonight, as per this event. Post-race interviews with your top 3, those final results of this entire series. Don't go anywhere. Post-race coverage coming up right after this. You're watching the Roughneck Racing and the Money Madness series, Madness Money series, live on V-Speed.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Talladega Super Speedway. Roughneck Racing has concluded its feature. The Madness Money Series. It's Daniel Falkingham who gets the win. Those final results up on your screen. 20 lead changes and 0 cautions here today. A big wreck there on the white flag. But all in all, a pretty clean race until the chaos ensued on those last probably 2 miles of this speedway. Nathan Harper will come home in second. Garrett Maines in third position. We'll get an interview with them in just a moment. Tyler Wynn will finish in fourth. Lots of door checks on that 82. Nash Brambilla will finish in fifth. We got Josh Dambrone in sixth position. Dambrone, rather. Seventh position, Freddie Basinez, Landon Vilecki, Joshua McCullough, and Jason Maines will round out your top 10. More finishers here with Dylan Jones, Quentin Steinbach. Then you have Matthew Baker falling back to 13th, Chris Blanchard in 14th. John Ward will be 15th position. Brian Hennings bringing it home 16th. Kenneth McCullough Jr., 17th position with Tyler Vickery in 18th. And some problems here with my timing and scoring. It looks like the 6 of Cody Nagels is going to finish 19th. Chris Melton in 20th. A little bit broken here with all the wrecks and drivers electing not to finish this race. So timing and scoring a little bit all over the place. James Wagoner is going to be 21st position. Thomas Parker, 22nd. Mistretta is going to finish 23rd. And Nagels listed as 23rd or 24th position, but it's Emos that's Emos is 24th on mine. Just kind of all over the place here for the end of this, but Lee, Corbett, Sizemore, Vondell, and Lapino actually race steward for tonight's event. So that would be race control up there in the tower. So with that, let's bring up your top three. First driver that we're going to talk to. And I got to ask, Garrett, I might have been butchering your name all night long. So if I have, is it Manez? Is it Maines? I got it. What's that?
It's Garrett Maines.
Garrett Maines. All right. Hey, I was getting it right. All right. So there we go.
Yeah.
Tonight, it was complete chaos for the very start. I know that we had a shortened session, and so under the lights at Talladega doesn't really work when the pace car is the only one with the lights. But we come back here in the daylight and then go caution free. How was your mentality? How was your outcome? How do you feel this race went for you?
Well, so I'm actually racing at Flat Out Sim Racing in Utah. So I didn't have a fuel calculator just because, it's not my sim. But yeah, let's just say we were a little off on the strategy. Not that it was like the wrong move. It just didn't work out the way we thought it would. We were kind of behind the 8-ball, but ended up we were behind the wreck. So, I had an opportunity to win there, but everybody wanted to play bumper cars coming to the line. And I would put that on the side of basically dirty driving coming to the line. But, I came out alive, so it is what it is. I guess I'll take a P3 after the night that we had. Nathan did a great job there getting P2 too. So, appreciate him being there at the end, able to help me finish the race as well. So, overall, I guess a good recovery.
Well, based off of the echo, I would say the room you're in had more room than that racetrack. It looked like they were blocking 4 lanes deep when you were coming across that tri-oval. You're able to avoid that, but you mentioned, kind of that dirty mentality. Do you think that money racing brings out maybe the worst in people on that?
I don't know. It's just, when it's chaos like that, everybody, it's every man for himself. And I don't know, the sense of, urgency coming off of turn 4 and you kind of out by yourself. Everybody's trying to throw that block. But I don't know. We came out on the right side of it, so I can't do but so much complaining. Not what I would have done, but, it is what it is.
Well, nonetheless, you come home with a podium. And I know with the reset, it kind of gifted some of these guys some new trucks. So we're thankful for that. We're thankful for you coming up here in the booth and joining us. Anybody come to mind to put this truck on the racetrack tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Today, actually, we announced that Wigan Water Technologies was going to be on the car for the 2025 season. So super excited to have them on. It's their 60th anniversary this year. So I'm definitely thrilled to be able to kick off the season with an interview. And we'll be doing the Daytona 24 here this weekend, so excited to have them on the car for that, and hopefully we'll get another one.
Appreciate it. Third place here tonight, Garrett Maines, and we'll see you in hopefully a week's time as we set off race number 3 for the Madness money.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now let's move on to our second place finisher, Nathan Harper. Is going to join us up in the booth. Nathan, I know this isn't the way that you predicted it. I know that the strategy, we were just talking there to Garrett a moment ago, that the pit stops and the way this race cycled through kind of looked like you guys were out of it and then got thrown right back into the mixer for those final 3 laps.
I'm still sitting here trying to process what happened. Once Baker and Lee, when they got tangled up, they lost us, and I was like, oh, that's going to kill our speed. And then, to be honest, we at that point, when we caught up to the pack, I was like, okay, well, we just need to hope for a wreck. If not, we're not cashing. And then there they went. They just boom, and I turned down left, and I kept, I'm on a single monitor, so I kept, I have the D-pad so where I could look over right to left, and I kept looking right, and luckily no one hooked me, and then we were able to, get P2. I nearly got hooked in the tri-oval, but we got glued together, and I guess I got P2. People were talking about possible DQs, but regardless, after all that, that's still a solid payday. I'll certainly take it, luck or not.
Well, on the possibility side of that, you also have to factor in a lot of drivers kind of on that last ditch effort. In this situations, though, if you know you're a driver that's left hung out to dry, everyone's going to try to go past you. What's your opinion on that whole situation?
Got to do what you got to do. That's a part of it. It happens all the time.
Well, I hate to put you in the spotlight there. I know that everyone has an opinion about that, and I know I've gotten both sides of it, but at the end of the day, you come home P2. Nathan, congratulations on putting it up there and surviving there on that last lap.
Thanks, man. I appreciate y'all putting this on, broadcasting, and shoot, I mean, just crazy. I don't even know what else to say.
Anybody else come to mind to shout out before we let you go?
Yes. I didn't have anyone to work with tonight, so I just hopped in a VC. Shoot, I'm trying to remember. I'm bad with names. Garrett, Baker, Lee, somebody else. Blanchard. Yeah, we were on a call together, and shout out to Chase Mastretta. He was lapped, and he knew the drill. We told him over the radio, like, okay, we need to swap out and keep the temps fresh. And I mean, he kept us afloat, and then eventually had the pit. So yeah, I mean, very fortunate that I was able to work with these guys tonight. I mean, at least two of us cashed, but I hate it for the others.
Hey man, there you go, in the prize pool, and you got it done. Appreciate your time, Nathan, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, sir.
22nd, or January 22nd, rather.
Yep, I will be there.
That was your second place finisher. And finally, we move on to victory lane, where Daniel Falkingham pretty much owns this victory lane here at Talladega Super Speedway. You've been on a tear here as of late. You've been cashing in left and right. But Daniel, how much more difficult is it getting now that you've got a few wins under your belt? I think you're starting to notice guys not want to work with you as often.
Oh, it always gets more difficult the more you win because it puts a target on your back, you know. But thankfully, I feel like at the end of these races, I just know how to position myself because, like, it's especially with the trucks, same with the B car, it gets so gridlock. Like, I know how to really position myself to get myself in a position to win, whether it's leading or just being a pusher because I have very cool engine, very cool temps to put myself in the position to win. Whether it's, like I said, whether it's leading or pushing, but. No, like it just gets hard because these races get more wackier and wackier at the end of these things because, like, you saw right there, like, how crazy it got. Like, I was getting hit below the yellow line, people were wrecking behind me, there was freaking 4 or 5 guys coming with a run behind us, but thankfully that yellow line was my best friend, guys. Blocked the yellow line, and then Nathan gave me a shot of a lifetime, and we cleared everyone, but, no, I'm telling you, man, I don't know what it is with the trucks, but, like, the trucks I really have, like, the most success with for whatever reason, but, it seems I'm winning left and right in these, but like I said, it never gets easier. Puts a target on my back, but at the end of the day, we just keep doing what we're doing, and we're going away with victories and good points.
Looking like good points, and this is going to help you out. Getting a top spot, of course, always helps, but then you have that top 10 there. A week ago, you're sitting pretty. Should be somewhere up towards the top, if not leading this thing after this week. And we go on to next week, another restrictor plate. You said the target might be building up on your back, but what's in store for us when we go racing again?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what it's going to be because I believe we're in the Xfinity car next week. So definitely going to be way different. I feel like it's not going to be like as bunched up. The pushes aren't going to be as aggressive because it's really easy to like get someone bumped out of line, especially in the B car. So it's still going to be gridlock, but it's not going to be as aggro until we get to the end of the race, obviously. But it's always going to be aggro, but like we can't be as aggressive as we are in like the Gen 6, next gen truck. You name it. So, but no, anyways, I'm looking forward to it next week. Just come back with the same goal, try to score good points, and try to look at the bigger picture at the end of these 12 weeks or however long this is. So, right now we're on a good track. Right now it's like me and Garrett head to head because we've finished in the top 3 both weeks. So, got to keep an eye on that, but just got to stay consistent.
And with that, is there anybody that comes to mind? Daniel Falkingham put that 88 machine in victory lane today.
Oh, I gotta thank this guy to the right of me. I know you can't see him, but I'm at Parker White's house right now because I got a flight out to Charlotte in the morning, and I did not feel like driving 4 hours at 5 in the morning to go to an airport. So appreciate him for letting me.
Can't blame you on that.
Yeah, so I appreciate him for letting me use his rig for the night, and thankfully it led us to good success. Gotta fly out to Charlotte for this old eNASCAR stuff in the morning, so looking forward to that. But thanks to him for letting me use his rig. Shout out to Wagner, everyone who puts the show on for all these races, everyone who comes out. Thanks to the Nightmare Boys, worked well together as always. I know it got really crazy. I don't know how many of us cast. I think I might have been the only one, but or I think Josh did. But shout out Josh, Cody, Landon, Chase, Freddie. I keep calling him Frank for a reason, but shout out the whole crew as always. Thanks to you for broadcasting. Thanks to everyone who watched. Thanks to everyone who watched my stream as well on Twitch. And about it. Had a lot of fun, which it didn't get that chaotic at the end, but appreciate it.
We appreciate your time. Daniel Folkingham, winner here tonight at Talladega. And he'll go on to week number 3, close to the points lead, if not having it, going into that race. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Bradley.
And with that, we have concluded our event here at Roughneck and their Madness Money Series. Tune in next week, January, I don't know why I keep wanting it to be February. January 22nd, as the Xfinity cars will tear around Daytona Super Speedway. That should go live somewhere around 9:30 p.m. so long as we get done in time. Roughneck Racing's Truck Series. Also, a big portion of our Wednesdays, you can tune in for that at 7:30 Eastern Time, right here on V-Speed. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed what you saw here tonight. My name is Bradley Cooper. You can check us out at VSpeedSim on Twitter or VSpeedSim.com. For Adam Baker, the co-founder of V-Speed, our other producers, Eddie Smith, Logan Threlkeld, Morgan Cook, and Daniel DJ Lyon. We're saying so long from Talladega. We'll see you in 1 week's time. Stay tracking, everybody.